Okay. Call the April 15, 2025 town council meeting to order. If you can, please rise and join us in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For the record, this meeting was called to order at 7:13 p.m. Do roll call. Justin Albright is not here. He apologizes, but he had a work event and he could not get on. Mike Wallace here. Sandra
Here.
Tammy
Here.
I am here. John Spinks, Brett Galvin present. Randy Decker not here. He's on vacation. Linda
Here.
Brad is not here. Josh Noel present. Jamie Uselak
Here.
Okay. The first thing we have in front of us is a public hearing. We will call this public hearing to order at 7:14. Is it 7:14 up there? What's it say?
7:12.
7:12.
Maybe split.
The clock on the wall is incorrect, so if we could, just for the record, we will
That is an atomic clock.
that must have blown the film out, because it is not working. So the time's a little bit, so we said we call this meeting at 7:13 off of that clock, so we're gonna call this public hearing to order based on the clock on the wall at 7:40. So we are opening the public hearing. Get to We have a resolution, your resolution 2025-0415. This is a resolution providing for the additional appropriations in the unrestricted opioid settlement fund for the year 2025. Whereas it has been determined it is not necessary to appropriate more money than was originally appropriated in the annual budget, now therefore. Be it ordained that the town council that Hebron Civil Town, Porter County, Indiana, that for the expenses of tax unit, following additional sums of money are hereby appropriated out of the funds named and for the purposes specified subject to law governing the same. So we are putting, Jamie, are we putting this in the unrestricted opioid settlement fund? Or is that a typo?
Let's see.
I don't see any.
You're not doing, wait a minute, you're doing the,
This is the additional appropriations.
I don't see anything that says on mine that says opioid. I have, miscellaneous improvement for Riverboat, local roads and streets, Rainy Gate and ARP.
If you look at the paragraph right below the resolution number, it says a resolution providing for the additional appropriations.
Oh, that's a typo.
That is a typo.
So it should be for, and it lists all those funds.
Okay. So if we could have the record show that that was a typo, that it is not coming under the unrestricted fund, that would be ideal. Okay,
This is all in, well, okay,
is everything else accurate?
yeah,
Okay. So we will move down here to fund name Riverboat 2235, major budget classification miscellaneous improvements, 2235-001441. Amount requested $45,568. Amount approved by the fiscal body $45,568. And this is coming from the Riverboat Fund, is that what's happening?
there's money in the Riverboat Fund. Last year when the budget was done, unbeknownst to me when I did the budget, that we weren't going to pay it all last year.
Okay.
So this is money that was in the budget last year that we did not use. So it's in the fund, that's what we're gonna use it for.
But we're putting it where?
And we're putting it, it's in the whatever fund, the Riverboat. It's there, but it's not appropriated. So we're appropriating the money that's in the fund already.
for that, and we're going to use it
for
for
the CCMG this year.
CCN.
All of this will be used for CCMG.
So the heading that we're striking probably should be replaced with money being placed into the CCMG for payment, correct?
No. You mean up at the top?
Yes.
No. All of this is going into, nothing's being transferred into the CCMG fund. We will pay our bills out of each of these funds. There'll be a check written out of each of these funds to pay for the CCMG.
I know, but this here doesn't say transfer what we struck from there, it just says that it's being additionally appropriated from the unrestricted opioid settlement fund for the year. So it should probably say,
But it's basically the general fund, most of this is all in.
used for CCNP. So can we change that to say that this will be used for CCMG then?
I would prefer that it not say where it's gonna be used because that's not normally how you do it. This is a state form that you do not mess with. Okay, so it'll just be going into the appropriate, the general fund for the year 2025.
I mean, would it mess anything up if we go to change the name to something else, Jamie?
To the CCMG. It's not gonna make a difference, but this is a state form and we normally do not transfer into the CCMG fund. The money that goes into that fund comes from the state of Indiana. Nothing else goes in there but the money that we get from the state. This money is not being transferred to that fund. It's already in Riverboat, it's already in local roads and streets, it's already in rainy day, and it's already in American Rescue Plan. It's already there, but it's not appropriated for us to spend.
Are you increasing the appropriation?
Yes,
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
But there shouldn't be a title that says that that's
No.
what's happening.
no,
We're not allowed to make a second. When you're funding the room.
no, if we make funds, we have to do it by ordinance.
She doesn't mean fund, she just means labeling it as it is up here, resolution providing for the additional appropriations from the unrestricted opioid.
Well, it should say in the appropriation in the general fund for the year, because all of this money is in the general fund.
Local roads and streets is in the general fund,
The money's in the general fund, in the general checking account, yes,
general checking account or the general fund?
general checking account.
So it's not in the general fund, it's in its own fund.
I'll tell you what, I'll just change this so it'll
Okay,
say
let's just change it.
into the riverboat, the local roads and streets, the rainy day, and the,
Yes.
I'll just put all of them.
For the council, what would you like to have?
Would like for it to have the funds, I don't want to speak for all of you, but for me, myself, I'd like for it to have the heading that says where it's being appropriated to. In those 4 funds. So that would be Riverboat. Local
Riverboat,
roads and
LRS,
streets,
rainy day,
Hang on, rainy day, and American Rescue.
yes,
So with that, well, let's go back to it. We've already read the fund name Riverboat. We've already done that. That's $45,568. And then we'll be appropriating from local roads and streets. For miscellaneous paving, 2202001421, $119,459. Which was the amount approved by the fiscal body. But we'll fund name rainy day 2236, major budget classification, rainy day paving. 2236001421, $2,386. Same amount that will be considered to be approved. Fund name Park American Rescue Plan 9503, major budget classification, miscellaneous improvements 2503001441, $24,718 in the same amount. The foregoing appropriations are in addition to all appropriations provided for the existing budget and levies. Taxpayers appearing at the meeting shall have the right to be heard. Section 2 we haven't passed it. So that, I apologize about being convoluted, but I appreciate everyone working to make sure that it was clarified. So we had opened the public hearing, we had read what this was, now the public has an opportunity to speak on this additional appropriations from these 4 funds. Does the public have any comment? Does the public have any comment? Does the public have any comment? Let the record show that we called for public comment 3 times and there was none. The council, are there any comment? Anyone else? With that, then with that, we will close the public hearing at 7:23. Moving back to our original meeting, we're now going to have our regular meeting, public comment. The town council would like to let everyone know that the agenda for our meeting is available online on the town website the Friday before we meet to allow citizens to come and speak on topics before decisions made. This meeting is being recorded and will be made available on our website before our next meeting. In order to give everyone an opportunity to speak and get through today's business, please state your name and address before limiting your comments to 3 minutes. Comments will only be allowed during the public comments section of this meeting directly after this statement is read. Are there any meetings from the public? Any comments from the public? Sorry. Any comments from the public? Any comments from the public? Let the record show that we call for public comment 3 times and there were. Moving on, we have approval of the town council minutes. We have March workshop minutes, March council minutes, village and community, and March council minutes. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
There is a motion. Is there a second? There was a motion by Mike, a second by Sandra. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion passes 4-0. We have items and ordinances, resolutions and ordinances to be considered. We have a unanimous consent vote in order to be able to take those into consideration now. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to accept the unanimous consent.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second Tammy.
There being a motion and a second, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All, everybody? Aye. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. 4-0. You're speaking into my deaf here. Sorry about that. All right, the first thing we have in front of us is resolution 2025-04-15, additional appropriations. We just had our public hearing on this. We need to read these numbers back into the record. Still was in public hearing. Okay, we're okay with that, Dave? Awesome. Once again, this is the additional appropriation to transfer to appropriate money that was already in the 4 funds in order to do paving that wasn't spent from last year. So, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 2025-4-1.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
There being a motion and a second, is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed. Motion passes 4-0. So I'm going to fill this out unanimous consent. We have in front of us resolution 2025-04-15-1, a transfer resolution. This is a resolution providing for the transfer of appropriations for the town of Hebron, Porter County, Indiana for 2025 for the action and passage of the Hebron Town Council pursuant to IC 6-1.1-18.6. Whereas the extraordinary conditions have developed since the adoption of the existing annual budget for the year 2025, it is now necessary to transfer appropriations into different line items that were appropriations that were appropriated in the annual budget for the various functions of the departments to meet the emergency. We have MVH fund from 1293 MVH de-icing matters.
Materials.
Materials. It's abbreviated, so I didn't know exactly which ones they wanted. $50 is a big transfer. To 1451 MVH equipment and machine. $50 is our motion.
Make a motion to approve 2025-04-15-1.
Mike's made a motion, is there a second? There a motion and a second, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 4-0. We have ordinance 2025-04-15, a new fund. This is creating a fund for the generator grant. The chief of police has been working with Mary Jane Thomas and the contractors to get a generator. He was very successful. It's going to be installed soon. We just need this fund in order to be able to accept them. Is that accurate, Chief?
That's correct.
Jamie, is that accurate? Excellent. The reason that we needed a generator for this building is that we were concerned for the citizens in high heat and high or in low temperatures to have a location that we could allow citizens to come in and seek shelter. And the community center here seems to be the appropriate place to do so. So I appreciate everyone who's been involved with this. I'm sure Brett, you have reviewed some of this. Jamie, I appreciate you going through the extra effort. We'll make sure the finances are done correctly. This is ordinance 2025-04-15, Town of Porter County, Indiana. It's an ordinance establishing Fund 2410 IDHS generator grant. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 2025-04-15.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion passes 4. We have in front of us ordinance 2025-04-15-1. This is meal reimbursement and travel expenses. The gist of this is that the ordinance that we had some discrepancies in the cost for out of town functions paid as reimbursements for meals. The state sets those limits, and we are adjusting those limits to make sure that they are within the state recommendations. Is there a motion? Well, maybe I should I read some of this, Brett? Sure. No, all right, so this is ordinance 2025-04-15-1. A second ordinance amending chapter 2 administrative article 8 personnel policy and administration division 3 section 2-457B by through ordinance to 2024-2-20-1, the policy of reimbursement of meals for the employees and officials of the town of Hebron, Porter County, Indiana. The part that was stricken from this was up to $41 for in-state meal per diem per day and up to $52 for out-of-state meal per diem per day. What it's being replaced with is one amount, which the state sets, and it states up to $68 per day for meal expenses in and out of state functions. $68, I think today's current climate, 3 meals is probably right within the wheelhouse. We don't do very many out of town functions, but we certainly don't want people to starve. So is there a motion? And I should add, be compliant with the state's recommendation. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept ordinance 2025-04-15.
Tammy's made a motion, is there a second? Mike, you just want to say something?
I don't think I got some back end food questions.
All right, there's been a motion by Ken, a second by Son. For any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion passes 4.
I don't know where I'm completely, I'll eat good.
Yeah, they are. Okay, the MCO contract that was approved in Kirkwood's town council have to approve that.
It just wouldn't hurt.
Okay. So we have in front of us the MCO contract, which includes Randy Decker and the services provided by the company in which he works for as an outside contractor essentially. But he works amongst us as one of us. His job is to coordinate the many functions that happen at the water plant, sewer plant, street department, pretty much everything that sells Girl Scout cookies. This year is a incredible growth year for the town, as we've been experiencing over the last 4 or 5 years. This will be no exception, but will probably be even more than ever done before. We have subdivisions coming in, we have DG Market being built, we have Snake Flats getting new water and paving, some sidewalks. The extents of the projects, even beyond that, are immense. I can't say that, I can't say any more about the job that he does. As I did say in the HERC meeting, I would like for us to have a conversation with MCO in the upcoming years that the increase, which is only 4.3% this year, stays within the maximum level, whatever the state sets that as. It's in Senate Bill 1, I believe, passed today, and is heading to the governor's desk. We're all going to be asked to do much more with much less. If what is accurately being reported, Porter County itself may be $50 million. Their budgets may be reduced $50 million, which will trickle down to all of us. So I think we need to make sure that we're looking at everything to make sure that we are spending money as well as we can. I know we already do that, but moving forward, if we can stay within that maximum budget, that would be wonderful. The exact increase, like I said, was about 4.3%. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to accept the MCO contract.
All right, Mike has made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second Tammy.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion passes. All right, so we have a very exciting thing that's happening as we had last year, and we've had celebrations in our community. These the trail that we have here on 231 has been a wonderful addition. We see people walking along it, running along it, riding their bikes, having their dogs and other pets running around on it. The flowers and the trees have become a real central point to our community. I'd like to thank Don Ensign for his immense work in getting that installed. Public Works for helping us maintain it. Frank Stallbaum and others from the Stormwater Board, and obviously Public Works. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Thank everyone who's worked on this, but we are going to have, and they requested a declaration, a proclamation for Celebrate Trails Day. We had this last year where we had kids come out, they helped plant things. It was a wonderful event. I'm just going to read the proclamation declaring the 4th Saturday as Celebration Trails Day. Well, and before I do so, if you want to vote on this proclamation before I read it, we should probably do so. Is there a motion to accept the proclamation before being read?
I'll make a motion to accept the proclamation.
I think this is the first one I've done. I don't remember us doing it before. Does anybody else?
A proclamation?
Yes.
Yeah, we've done it before.
How long?
We did a couple when Dave was here.
That's been a while.
They've been here 16 years. Okay, so Sandra made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's been a motion and a second to accept the proclamation or to issue a proclamation. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed,
Didn't really.
motion passes 4-1. So on behalf of the town council and the entire town, I'd like to proclaim declaring the fourth Saturday of April as Celebrate Trails Day. Whereas the Hebron Town Council is pleased to recognize the sacrifice of our veterans, their families, and the importance of always remembering the freedom they provided us by creating a walking trail for the future site, the Northwest Indiana Militia Memorial. Whereas on the fourth Saturday of April, Veterans Memorial Parkway, Rails to Trails Conservancy, Porter County Libraries, and the Hebron Park invite the citizens of the town of Hebron to join Celebrate Trails Day, an annual springtime celebration of America's trails. Whereas the Hebron Park Board works to create and maintain healthy parks throughout the town for individuals and families to enjoy the outdoors. Whereas the Porter County Library System looks to promote physical activity and literacy through their story walk being installed on our second walking trail behind the community center. Whereas it is the mission of the Veterans Memorial Parkway series of trails and memorials to create a living, lasting tribute honoring those who have served and sacrificed for our country. Whereas Rails to Trails Conservancy, which is the largest trail walking and biking advocacy organization in the United States, is the national organizer of Celebrate Trails Day. Whereas Celebrate Trails Day is an opportunity to showcase the many ways that trails and connected trail networks bring joy and impact to people's lives. Whereas all citizens are invited to meet together on this day at 9:30 a.m. every year to walk the trail along Wilson Street together to remember those who have sacrificed their lives. Whereas the town of Hebron has 1 mile along Wilson Street and approximately a quarter mile behind the community center for people to use. Whereas trails provide ways to access the outdoors and safely get around by foot, bike, mobility device in the community. Now therefore, on behalf of the Hebron Town Council, be it resolved and in partnership with the Rails and Trails Conservancy, Veterans Memorial Parkway, Porter County Libraries, and the Hebron Park Board hereby recognize this day, April 26, 2025, and the fourth Saturday of every April hereafter as Celebrate Trails Day. In the town of Hebron, and call the observance to this attention to all of our citizens, the witnesses whereof Hebron Town Council have here unto set our hand and cause the seal the town of Hebron to be affixed this April 15, 2025. I will pass this around. If you could sign above your name. Maybe this is a color copy that I'll give to you and.
I also have a color copy.
What's that?
I also have a color copy for you, sir.
Okay.
You're supposed to say hail, hail.
Hail, hail. We'll have Justin sign it. Before it goes out, that would be wonderful. Everybody can come out. It was a wonderful event last year. I hope that it'll be a one to remember. There are other events. There are other events that are going on after the trail walk, right? I believe that
The museums will be open from 10 to 2.
Thank you for doing so. I believe we've dealt with all old business, new business. Is there anything that I've missed? So we'll go to the reports. Anything from public works? I know that Randy is gone.
No, I think that, left a few people in charge and they're taking up the reins. Lucky's absent, but, you know, we have the water going in the state flats, so. That's about all.
We would encourage all citizens to be mindful of road closures and any of the snow factors that are up. And try to watch the children and keep those out and do the very best we can to make sure that it's a safe environment. Parks.
I'm complaining, we're complaining. We're going to complain.
Okay. Public comment.
Not really.
All right.
Park inspections were done earlier this month. Parks are in really good shape. Public Works guys are doing an excellent job of keeping up. And we appreciate it. The only other thing, our Easter egg hunt is this Saturday. Easter bunny arrives at 10. transportation is provided by the Hebron Fire Department. The egg hunt will start at 10:30. The National Junior Honor Society kids are coming out again, as they do almost every single year, to help us get everything set up for the egg hunt. And then, of course, we have Trail Day coming up on April 26th. And the Stagecoach Museum will be open, keeping it open from 10 o'clock till 2. For anybody who wants to come in and look around. And that's it for now.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful event. Hope the Easter Bunny hops in and has a great time. Police Department.
I unfortunately do not have much of a report to present. In early March, all of Porter County Emergency Services were forced to switch to a new CAD program. CAD stands for Computer Aided Dispatching. I will stop short of calling that switch a complete disaster, but it has definitely been extremely challenging. I'm being told that the module that takes the dispatching information and quantifies it into statistics that I can present to a report has not been built yet. So I can't pull any numbers to give to you. So as such, all I have is a vehicle report and the ordinance content to present.
Hopefully they will get that.
Shortly, I don't know if that's an adjective I would use to describe it. I'm hopeful that they will build out the module to do it, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
So they're not working on it?
They claim they're working on it, but in my experience, these things have taken upwards of 5 years to complete. So I'm hoping it won't take that long, but I'm hoping within about 4 to 5 months.
Is there an alternative program that we can use to be able to compile this information effectively?
I'm working with the state to continue working with the ARIES program so I can report crime statistics. However, the individual calls of service, since we're tied into computer aided dispatching, I have to pull that off of those servers. So until they build this module, I can't give you calls of service. I'm hoping to be able to get alternatives for crime reporting.
Don't have anything reported from the building department. Does anybody have from the building department? Brad's not here. Redevelopment.
We don't have. We're compiling lists of medium businesses. Put together a for business licenses. Just talking about those for the next 30 days. I'm back.
And this is the business license. It's already on the books, the ordinances.
Yeah.
Together, let's brainstorm.
Okay. And all of that. I had a few announcements on behalf of the town. We want to let everybody know that it is planned that the government class, Sheriff's government class, will be in attendance next month to see how it is that we operate our business, how we conduct the town's business. Hopefully, there will be some recruiting for the future leaders. He will get us some numbers by workshop next month to make sure that we have the right kind of city. Did I miss something, Liz?
No,
Nothing? Okay.
Yes, there is.
We have the Snake Flats ribbon cutting tomorrow at 3:30. If those can be in attendance, the one I think I heard back from was Sandra. It will be at 2:30 at the Public Works Department. Right now, we have in leadership from the Army Corps of Engineers speaking. I'll be speaking, and so will Congressman Murphy. We've already talked about Celebrate Trails Day. Block party is May 31st. From 12 to 7:30 here in the parking lot of First Church and Paths, depending upon which direction you kind of want to talk about it. We already talked about Easter. Jamie, you had said you had written down an announcement.
Yes,
You wanted
the
to-
Hebron cheerleaders won national champion this year, and for the second year in a row, they won grand national champions.
Congratulations to the coach
That's
and
a
all
big
of the
feat
people
for them,
involved
yes.
with it, so that's wonderful. The only thing else that I have is an announcement. We had the retirement of Deputy Chief Carter. He is moving out of the area. We'd like to thank him for his service. Immensely, day and night, he would come out. He would help protect the citizens in Hebron and Boone Township and surrounding areas. We'd like to congratulate Deputy Chief Adam Rockna. And we had, and Justin Flannery, I believe, is stepping up to be the treasurer, so. Thank you again, Josh, for your service and good luck, and I hope that you're able to stay in the fire service. Any other announcements from anybody?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Jamie for the online meeting minutes and everything. Online like we asked for trying to go paperless.
And it worked.
It worked.
I just need to get you the internet password for here.
We got it.
Oh, okay,
They hacked into it, yeah.
okay.
But yeah, it worked out fine for me. I think,
Okay.
Saved us a lot of money.
Yeah, well, you still got paper stuff, so.
And I think we're gonna do the paper for a couple of months to make sure it works out that way, right? And
Yeah.
move on to the rest of it, before we decide if that's the way it works. The only thing I saw was the HERC docket and stuff probably should be on the HERC meeting. As opposed to on the council meeting. And any of the packet for that, I didn't get a chance to go through the online because I had the paper. Was the HERC and the town council stuff all put into the same PDF?
Yeah, well, the HERC didn't have anything under it, but
But the one under the town council didn't have the HERC information in it as well, or anything?
yes.
Okay. So yeah, just a separation of that would be ideal. Other than that, it was wonderful. It was a great packet this one. Anybody else? Sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no. Oh, that was it.
Anybody? All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to
Nope,
adjourn.
no, we cannot do that. We've got the document. Okay, as we have done in the past, and it's been the tradition, we read the three columns. We have the total, $254,260.99. We have transfers of $103,317.62. We have a net of $150,943.37. Is there a motion on the docket?
I'll make the motion to approve the document.
There's been a motion, is there a second?
I'll second, Tammy.
There being a motion and a second, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, motion passes 4-0. As it sounds like I repeated myself, well, first of all, let me check, did I forget anything? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Someone just made a motion, is there any further, or is there a second?
I will say.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. The town council regular meeting ends at 7:50. Thank you, everybody.